Hi, a Shoe Star Goddess. I'm back. Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me to talk about the Trump win, the conspiracy around Trump winning the presidency, and everyone thought Hillary was going to win. Yes, I'm wearing my Hogwarts sweatshirt. Everyone thought Hillary was going to win. Even I thought Hillary was going to win. But let me tell you why Hillary didn't win. Let me tell you the whole controversy and conspiracy around Donald Trump. Okay, first of all, his name. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't blow dry my hair. So y'all get what y'all get today. First of all, the whole Donald Trump thing. The name Trump means trick. Okay, it's a card that will win over any card, even though you thought you had a winning set, a winning hand. The Trump card will trump it all, but it's a trick. Okay, so the Trump card is a trickster card. Okay, and the trickster spirit is involved in this whole election. Everyone said Donald Trump was a clown. A clown is a trickster, a jester, a joker, basically. Okay, and then here we go back to the cards. Okay, now everyone thought Hillary was going to win, but the Trump card was set on top of that and said nope. And also a trickster will use any trick to get their point across or to get their way. So many years ago, even in the 80s, Donald Trump did an interview saying, oh, if I ran for president, I would run as a Republican because they are the easiest people to fool and trick. And so basically that's what he did. And what he did and how he tricked people was to expose the racism that still exists in America heavily. Okay. The way that he represented himself as a bigot, as a racist, as a conceited person, kind of gave the racist people in America a feeling that they could also express their opinions out openly, like they haven't been able to do as much in the past because they've been trying to hide it and put a band-aid on it and say it doesn't exist, and that people who are experiencing it are doing something wrong. Basically, he just ripped that whole band-aid off and said, look, I'm exposing all the racists by being racist, by giving them permission to be racist. So how do you trick someone? How do you defeat your enemy? You become them. Okay, so any trickster person knows this. If you want someone to admit something, you admit something first and let them get comfortable enough around you to admit something worse. Okay, even if you are lying and never did anything, but you want them to feel comfortable enough to admit that they've done something or that they are something, they will. This is mentalism. A lot of women know this. A lot of women will lie and admit something so that their man can open up and admit something that they would never admit before. You know what I'm saying? That's how they get the truth exposed. Okay, so I'm not political. I didn't even vote, so I'm not for or against any candidate. But what I'm saying is sometimes things are not as it seems. Okay, so everyone thought Hillary had it in the bag, including myself. But the trickster will come and trick you and trump you and take, the very thing you thought you had in your pocket, okay, or on your hand or in your hand, just like the magician. The magician will do a trick and, make your Rolex watch disappear, okay? You're going to be mad at that magician because you think he stole your watch. But then 2 seconds later, he'll tell you to look in your pocket and you'll find your watch right there. And the audience is going to be amazed and surprised. But you're going to be mad that you were tricked, but you're also going to be excited because you still have your watch. Now, a lot of people are saying Donald Trump is changing a lot of his things that he promised to do when he became president. Now he's backing out on them and saying, oh, I'm not going to do that. And so a lot of Trump supporters were upset because, oh, he's not doing what he said he was going to do. But what politician does, okay? So he's still a trickster. A lot of things that people were afraid of, now he's saying, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I just lied to get in office, okay? I exposed racism. I used the popular vote. I used the Republicans to get the vote because I knew that they were dumb enough to vote for me if I promised them A, B, and C. And now I'm president. now what? Okay, now he didn't even know what to do. So, you know, people gotta help him. But the funny thing is, he's exposed racism that still exists in America. Um, Ripped the band-aid right off, and also he tricked everyone. You know what I'm saying? And with that trickster spirit, it's neither good nor bad. It's both. So you got to take the good with the bad. You know, um, there can be lots of positive things and there can be lots of negative things, but that's life. You know, but it will. What it will do is open up all the things that have been shut down. There's something floating. A piece of dust. I'm moving, y'all, as y'all can see. There's something that has been closed down, locked up, said, oh, that's not happening anymore. It's just not real. That a trickster will expose, okay? Because, first of all, if you watched any of The Apprentice that Donald Trump was on, he had lots of people of color on there, okay? Winners. He had lots of, he's employed lots of people of color. His very businesses depend on people of color. So if he was truly racist, I don't think that he would have those as winners, you know, on his show, running his campaign and da 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 da. You know, if he was truly a racist, he would not even want to be around certain people. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think he used that as a way to bait certain people to vote for him and to also expose, you know, certain things that still exist today. As far as Hillary, a lot of people said that she wasn't likable. Like, no one liked Hillary. She didn't have a personality. She was blah. And I kind of agree with that. She's not feminine enough to be the first woman president, I don't think. If you're going to have a woman president, you need a woman president. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't have, like, for me, if she had won, I wouldn't have seen her as a woman. I would have seen her just as a president. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have seen her femininity. She doesn't have, you know, she's just very much like a man. She doesn't have that feminine quality that you would want if you had a woman president. You know what I mean? If you're going to have a woman president, you need a woman president, not a, I don't know. I'm not talking about sexuality. I'm talking about just the feminine spirit. You know what I'm saying? You can take a woman who's just as smart and just as, you know, qualified and put her next to Hillary, and you'll see the difference. One is more feminine than the other. So, you know, she's just a clone of a man in a woman's body, I feel. I wouldn't want that as my first woman president anyway. I'd rather, and I'm not saying my president because I don't have a president. I'm just a person. I don't believe in politics, so I don't get involved. Like I said, I didn't even vote. But if I were to see a woman president, I would want a woman president. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I hope that's clear. Whatever. Okay, so the conspiracy behind Trump winning and everyone thought Hillary was going to win is the trick, you know, the trickster. This is the year of the tricks, okay? Get ready. Get ready for lots of things to be exposed. Get ready for lots of things to confuse you, but also, you know, give you insight on things you would have never seen before. Okay, so then 2017 is also going to be the year of the rooster. And if anyone knows about Chinese astrology, the year of the rooster is, I'm going to read it to you. Okay, so roosters are, you know, hardworking, resourceful, talented, confident about themselves, always want to be seen as amusing, popular, outspoken, frank, open, honest, and the center of attention. Okay, who's this sound like? Want to always appear attractive and beautiful, even if they're not. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So yeah, if you read more on the rooster, you'll figure it out. It says roosters expect others to listen to them while they speak and can become agitated if others don't. Who does this sound like? Okay. Vain and boastful, roosters like to brag about themselves and their accomplishments. Who does this sound like? Okay. Okay, well, luckily he's not a rooster, thank goodness, but he is a dog, literally, in the Chinese astrology. And so I'm going to read y'all what dog. He was born in the year of the dog. It says dogs can be very temperamental, narrow-minded, and stubborn. When this happens, the dog takes off alone in order to make things right again, aside in its head. So the dog can benefit by learning to relax and be more rational. So I think that's what's happening now after he won. Now he's calmed down. Now he's thinking about stuff and becoming more rational. So yes, you guys, it is the year of the rooster coming up in 2017. We have a trickster clown president who will become more rational after they've gotten what they wanted. Exposed the things that they wanted to be exposed, and now things are going to unfold, and I guess everything will be a mystery because this is the year of the trickster as president. And also I think it's going to be interesting to see, but like I said, I don't really put any value on it. I just like to see stuff unfold symbolically and break it down and just be like, oh, that's so funny, ha 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 ha. It doesn't really affect me because I don't base my success or my ability to achieve or my ability to, be who I am based on who's president. Okay. Never have, never will. Okay. A lot of people believe that and they don't even get into politics. But since this was a requested topic, I thought I'd go ahead and do it for you guys just so y'all can know what I think about it. Yeah. I also feel like his wife, being a former model who's posed nude and done, have all this kind of stuff, being in the White House and the First Lady, I think it's kind of like all of a sudden now in America, especially in America, we see a lot of women who are, more free and out there and not ashamed to be, who they are, who sexual, be seen as this, powerful sexual being. A lot of women are not afraid to show that side of themselves anymore, and having a first lady that, has posed nude, is obviously a gold digger, is obviously with him because of his money. This is showing, the American people as who they really are. Okay. All the presidents before us did not represent us. Y'all know that. Every president before Trump does not represent how Americans really are. Okay. That's like the fairy tale version. Okay. Americans are greedy, egotistical, gold digging, it's true. This is the face of America. Y'all have to admit that. Okay. Racist. Okay. So the true American face is now on the public, and now that's why people are upset, because now the band-aid has been ripped off and now you see what America really looks like. Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave it at that. If y'all agree with me, if y'all don't, that's fine, because I don't care. But I just had to get that one out and let it be known. Okay. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.